Everybody, this is Ev Zervadakis with the astrological report for next Wednesday, April 22nd. We're going to talk about the new moon in Taurus, and we're also going to talk how that's going to affect Uranus in Taurus, which is conjunct. That means it's going to be together. The energies will be intensified, and also the moon in Taurus will be square Jupiter, and how that's going to play out for everybody. So, what does the new moon mean? It means that the moon and the sun are together, conjunct, and for some reason, I'm not seeing the followers here, but anyhow, we have the new moon in Taurus, which is the first new moon. It's the first new moon in Taurus for the year, and that's going to set the tone. Taurus, of course, has to do with our possessions, all the things that we could touch, all the things that we feel, all the things that we love, because it's ruled by Venus, and it's an earth sign, and it's also a fixed sign. So there's a little bit of stubbornness there. But every new moon, I recommend to all my little friends out there that follow the astrology to make a new moon meditation, and to write down your list for the intentions for the new moon, because the intentions that you put out for the new moon will come to fruition just like the moon will become full. And it's a very ancient belief. My great grandmother would tell my mother to do that, pray for the new during the new moon, and all your dreams or prayers will be fulfilled. So here it is, probably almost 100 years later, and now it's very vogue and fashionable to do that. The way I look at the new moon intentions, or any intentions you put out there, when you make the list, I do it with a brand new specific journal for new moons, and I put nothing else in the journal. So if you have either a binder like this, just start with something new, and then just keep it in that binder, and you could clear your space, any ritual that you want to do. And then I always do a meditation with some breath work, and call on your guides, call on your angels, whatever is comfortable for you, whatever you intuitively feel is best for you. And that's why I call this astrology for healing, because the purpose of this astrology and the series of the astrology lectures is to help you heal and to help you move forward in life. It's a tool. So the new moon intentions, think of it as an order on Amazon, or an order at your fast food restaurant, or an order at one of your favorite restaurants that you know is going to be delivered, and you know it's going to be delivered. You never question it. So put it out there. Have faith that these intentions will come to you in the universal time, or in God's time. But just have faith that it will come to you, if not something better. So, hi, Angie. How are you? Thank you for joining. If you have any questions, type them in. So, the next aspect, so the moon, and remember these astrological features, they're always moving, just like it's a clock, but it's a clock with clocks in it. So every planet, goes around the wheel, which is like a clock. And then you have like 12 different things going on at once. The signs are moving, the planets are moving, and as they move, they form different angles. So it's not easy to kind of look at it, analyze it, and then synthesize it. But with time, I get faster and faster with it, and I just pull out the aspects I want to talk about, and that's where the intuition comes in. So it's going to be, so this moon now in Taurus is conjunct Uranus. Uranus is the planet of unexpectedness. it's shocking stuff, even like a lightning bolt. You stick your finger in the socket, you're going to get shocked. So that's what's happening right now. And it shocks our personal possession part of our being, our life, the life section of your possessions. So that's all being shook up. It's shocking. And if you want to see how that affects your personal chart, you just go and see where Taurus is. And you know that the moon, which has to do with emotions and reflections, and Uranus, which is the sudden changes, the genius, innovations, and that kind of energy is in your chart. So for me, Taurus is the natural wheel, Taurus is in the second house, which represents personal possessions, because that's a natural wheel. But let's say it was in the seventh house, then that would be for partnerships. So that would be, unexpected financial changes for the partner. So that's how you kind of read that. And the other component is I want to talk about the moon in Taurus is square Jupiter, and Jupiter is in Capricorn. So Jupiter is a planet of expansion and getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, a balloon. It doesn't shrink. So if it's square, that means it's obstacles. That means that there's trouble. It's not easy. It's work that's going to be involved. Uh, it's crisis or whatever, and it has to do with your emotions and feelings. But there's going to be a higher learning to it. It has to do also with the government, or business, which is Capricorn. So they're both earth signs. So it's slow moving. However, the moon is very quick. Like I said before, the moon goes through a whole sign in 1 to 2 days, where the sun moves 1 degree a minute. There's 30 degrees in a house or a sign. And so that takes about a month. So Jupiter, of course, moves much slower. It takes years for it to go around. So there are a lot of things going on with emotions, with expansion. So it's going to be, I see people getting a little frustrated. And what's going to happen with Libra? Well, it depends. Are you saying, Angie, that well, where is your Taurus? That's what I need to know. Which house is your Taurus in? Because, I'm assuming Libra, that's your sun sign. So if you look back on the introduction to astrology, it explains how the whole wheel works. It's a big clock, and it's divided into 12 houses. So I could better answer your question if you tell me where the Taurus is. You're not sure. Okay. Well, you could DM me and gotcha. You could DM me and I could answer some questions for you. I'd love to do it, or even on the next video, because there's so much going on in the next like 3 to 4 weeks that I don't want to overwhelm people with too much data. But we're coming up on the 25th. We're going to get hit hard because some heavy duty planets are gonna go back like a pendulum and hit, and we're gonna have reoccurring energies that we've had back in March around the 21st. If you remember what was happening, and that was towards the beginning of the shutdown of the country, and let's see how we're going to get out of it. But whenever we deal with Uranus, we're also dealing with revolution, rebellion, and you can see it's coming. People are going to be stubborn. That's Taurus, and so it's going to be a new beginning. And I am forecasting and predicting that before this all gets better, people are going to stand up and scream for their rights, because our rights were taken away from us. And that's Jupiter in Capricorn. So I am going to end this. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I will talk to you later. I am going to do another video in the next couple of days. And there's a lot to talk about. We're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 planets are going to go retrograde, which is a whole nother subject. I could talk 3 hours about that. So I'm going to break it down into the first one that's going to go retrograde, which will be on the 25th. Pluto is going to go retrograde until May 1st. But that the part of Pluto is it represents death, transformation, and we've had enough of that right now. But it came forward, but now it's going to go backwards. So if we didn't learn our lesson from the first time around, we're going to get it the second time around, and then it's going to go back again direct. So we're in for some very interesting times. And if you could tell me, if you know where all your signs are in your astrological wheel, that will be great. You can look it up on these sites on the computer. All right. Thank you so much. You stay safe out there. And Angie, Christos Anesti for you. Love you. Bye-bye.